Good morning, TNT. Yeah, all the people outside there in the cars going to and from work, all in the maxis, say yeah. Yeah, liven up all yourself, shake up all yourself. Right, good morning to the Ground Report crew, of course, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and the original Nigel Snipes. I hope that that surgery that boy went under there is a serious thing, a very serious thing. And we wish him all the speedy recovery. And that he can come back. But the quietest ever here in the pit bull.
Yeah, boy.
The quietest ever
here. Turn him into a baby puppy, you know.
Yeah, quiet. You know, but it's nice, you know what I mean? You know, you have the gift of life, most important.
Living.
But his actions still speaks pitbull, because I'll have you guys know that every morning he gets up to open the live.
You sure?
Yeah.
And this morning, in fact, he played our opening song.
All
live. He doesn't have the energy to partake in the conversations, but he is on live.
That dedication.
No.
It's also part of his healing. It's
that is what I was not going to say. You see the will to live?
Yeah.
It is strong in him, and that is a good thing.
I was having a conversation with my dad about Andy, and I was talking about the will to live. And I was telling him, for somebody to be shot that amount of times,
local 50 cent,
and live, you have to have something up here.
Yeah.
That says, you can't give up now, you have to go on. And that is a role to play.
As I keep saying, everybody has to know their role and function in this life.
I know people that get
hundreds
one
of
shot
people
and
don't know their role and function. And it people get one shot, one graze and dead. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But that was a serious
so
it is good to know that he is still here with us.
We really admire you for your strength, and that's how it's God given.
A real soldier.
Whoever praying for you,
doing a good job.
Tell them pray for we too.
It is what it is. And to from his injuries previously, he had some complications coming down, and he fight it same way. He was off the air for a while too, in his last dispensation. So he's a fighter. So we wish you all the speedy recovery, brother, and love all the time. You know what I mean?
Can't wait to have you back.
Yeah. So basically, things happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Things not so bright. But it is what it is. The race talk is high on the agenda. I really don't like the race talk too much. I sort of went against my grain yesterday, but it was for a reason and a season. So I'll leave that there for now, right? But generally, I saw Kamla Prasad Bisesa come up with a plan to at least raise one of the things that I've been talking about for quite a while, which is police presence. And she has designated 30 zones that she's going to be instituted, that she and Alexander and so on will be instituting a sort of joint police army kind of scenario. Right now, I am not a stickler for anything that was tried before and failed. Right? And that model, I don't want to say that, but let me say this. I want to take you back to the two people that we spent money on to bring to Trinidad when we were dealing with we were dealing with a crime problem back then, and we had SWAT and all these different pieces of excitement in the air, right? Okay. So they went to Parliament and they changed the legislation to include an international and regional and local element in choosing a commissioner of police. Right? We had to go back. We had to know where we were and where we are now in order for us to get to where we need to be. I keep saying that over and over again. We say we're going international now to pick a commissioner of police. Right? We didn't get here just by guessing. And generally, while the exercise was going on, whatever the case would be, what is the processes via the constitution and whatever, we came up with two men who got the nod to be the commissioner of police. Right? One was Dwayne Gibbs, which I call Clark Kent, and Iwatsky. What Iwatsky? Can you remember what Iwatsky was? Was something Iwatsky was.
I used to tease him and call him Sherlock Holmes.
What's his name? Boy? Something Iwatsky. But generally, they came in, right? And they came in with an international perspective on policing. And rightly so. Because Canada, which they both came from, is known as the how to put it, boy, the best metropolitan, or one of the best metropolitan states of the world, right? The Canadian Mounted Branch lives there. The policing over there it's very difficult. Like, for instance, if you commit a crime in the town, in the city itself, it is very difficult to get out of the city because of how they lock down the place when they have an emergency of any kind. So it is very difficult to commit a crime and get out of the city. So it is very difficult to maneuver certain things, and they practice drills and they lock down the place and all kind of mad thing going on, right? I think that now spray now.
Yeah, it working.
That now spray. So it working. Yeah. So generally, they came here and they saw Trinidad and Tobago for what it is. The actual documentation, the actual flow, the actual how we operate as police officers and whatever. And they came in and they came up with a plan to change the way radically how we operate, how the police officers operate, how the senior officers operate, how all these people operate, right? And when they were done, they came up with a plan. And he coined it the 21st century policing. And I don't know why we don't go back to these learnings that we would have gotten from the international experience and other places. I don't know why or what is stopping it, right? But in terms of how you approach policing, AI was now coming in when they came in. Right? But AI in its basic form.
In its basic level.
There are things like predictive policing. There had things like the 21st century policing. He knew that the basics is what was needed to fight crime. So one day he came up with AFIS, which is the Automated Fingerprint Identification System, which is fundamental in crime detection, right? Because you would, especially for crimes of opportunity, you would need things like AFIS in order to get yourself out. Fingerprint on a windowsill, fingerprint on a door, fingerprint, wherever it is. Crimes of opportunity would be solved via AFIS. So he decided he's going to bring a unit to be able to identify criminals, because we were getting fingerprints in our station the old way, which is rub on the charcoal on the arm
and put dip your finger
and then go outside there by the pipe outside there and wash your hand with a soap tin like a SIM card,
and then your fingerprint gone missing,
and gazette paper to wipe your hand, right? He said no, that is not the way we should be doing things, and we should be electronically taking people's taking people's fingerprints on a system that goes to a database that houses this information on criminals. Because in every movie you see, you see fingerprints playing a very vital role in the closing out of a crime scene.
Facts.
And DNA. Those are the two things that are instrumental in solving crimes, right? whether you like it or not, that is basic function. Basic. So he decided that he would bring down a machine that is going to take our fingerprint and put it at a repository in a certain place, wherever it is, wherever the server is, wherever. And as I told all, the AI was now coming in. Little trickles of AI and how, we operating and wherever. It wasn't as robust as it is now. And it's still not robust right now. In Trinidad, that is. But he decided that he's going to put one in West End Police Station, which is down Diego Martin, which was the first place they put a machine. And the other one was in Aruca Station.
Right, so one in the East and one in the West.
One in the East, one in the West. And he said that would be the pilot project for getting fingerprints done efficiently, so that you could take a picture of a fingerprint on a job site and match it if you have the database on your phone and wherever. That's like how they do it out foreign. Right? So that was the vision of men like Dwayne Gibbs back in the day.
Okay.
Because we had to get up to the time.
Now, hold on. You said what stopped these things from happening? And you're saying that he had vision, right? The reason why these things don't get implemented, from what I have noticed in this country, is ego.
Well, to a point, yes. Yeah.
Because everybody believes their crime fighting plan is the best, and nobody wants to take anything from anybody before, especially if whatever they were doing before seemed to be working better than whoever is doing their version of it now.
Fair. It happens. When they change new ideology, new interests, wherever. But bottom line, I am just outlining the steps that he would have taken to improve the service at that time, which we have light years behind now, because we still don't have a proper database.
Yep.
We still don't have a comprehensive database.
We still lose paperwork like crazy in the stations.
The other issue was when he came in under the 21st century policing, was that in the West End Police Station was one of the areas, the pilot project for most things, right? And the reason why he would have instituted that was because of the topography of the land. You see how they go up plenty hill and valley and track and wherever all over the Western Peninsula. I guess that is why he chose Diego Martin as the pilot project. Because if it can work in Diego Martin, it could work anywhere else in the country.
Okay.
So he decided, here we're going on. I'm going to take 999, and that was the other fundamental. This is why I don't like Guevara too much. I don't like his style, because he's not coming with. He's not thinking on the.
He's not futuristic in his thoughts about policing. He is very third world in his policing.
Well, I just say that because that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Right. And he said that 999 would be the catalyst for a 911 system here, basically. And he was started to outfit that unit so that when you call 999 now, you don't get a Spanish or to neighbor hola and all kind of mad thing, right? You would get rapid response. You would get rapid response. A chair, a room full of people with 999 experience, trained in crisis management, trained in crisis communication, trained in conflict resolution. All these different pieces. The people sitting on behind the phone would be trained in how to deal and tackle with situations as they come in as reports. So that was his plan, to get the 999 up under him. And for some reason, they move out that a little while after he gone, and it ended up under the Ministry of National Security, not under the Commissioner. And I think it is still there. I stand corrected if it isn't, but I think it is still there. Where it's supposed to be is under 999 heading, the heading of 999, so that you can properly respond to emergency via this, because that 999 would be an integrated unit with everybody, fire rescue, what do you call them?
Ambulance services.
The ambulance services, all the different.
Everything on that more or less the national security belt, more
right? So that you could tap into everybody at a moment's notice. So when somebody calls in, a cat stuck in a tree, you know you could call fire service and wherever. Somebody locking a house and somebody trying to break in, right? It have
or better yet,
a response unit for that.
You call for ambulance, the ambulance too far away, you could call the fire service and deploy their ambulance to the person if it's closer.
Right. And the other one was a big screen TV with all the where the cars are located in Diego Martin. So his concept was, hey, you see this back end shot and fish broth and thing cooking, and while all they're working and all kind of mad
I want to see all
the officers are comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So when you come to work in the morning, you're going in your boot, which is your car, fully outfitted with computers and wherever and extra taking the trunk and a fully outfitted vehicle going out. When you come to work, you're going straight to your grid. So wherever your grid is assigned for that shift, right? And there was a big bacchanal with how the shift running.
Well, now your grid, you beat
extra shift.
Right, so X, we've seen a lot of things coming into play here.
Yeah.
The fact that to move the service forward, it will take a different mindset.
Lovely.
Right?
Lovely.
It would take a generation of officers that understands technology. We have quite a number of them that don't.
Right.
When it was time to implement the digital ticketing system, they had to go for training all over again. Some didn't.
Because it's like I say, two rule mentality, dinosaurs.
This would displace a couple people because we have always been a system where your service can get you through the amount of years that you
right.
You
Well,
serve.
Around that time too, they adjusted the act too, so that you have meritocracy in service and not seniority.
Yeah.
So if you have a degree, you could get ahead faster than
It could be you
than
come in as
wherever,
you come in as an officer instead of
we still
like
have
a recruit.
we still have an issue, and we could sit here and track where it's coming from, but I don't think we should.
Yeah, we don't need
to
to
put
go.
that out
We don't need to go there.
We're at a stage in Trinidad and Tobago where the police service needs all the support it could get.
Yeah.
Yep.
You understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes giving it the support it could get means pointing out what is wrong.
Yeah, but you
So
see,
I don't want people on the outside to feel that you're beating on the commissioner of police and the police service.
No, not at
right?
all.
But you see, this is where I've always said because even Gigi got fired from me, and I like Gigi and Gigi get fired. This whole thing boils down to two things that keeps back all of the progress: ego and hubris.
Well, to a point,
To a
yes,
point,
to a
yeah.
point, yes.
To a point.
Yeah, right. to a point.
But that is one of the biggest factors. Because look, I was looking
I
at
would
something.
disagree.
Well,
with that.
I would disagree with that.
It's one of the biggest factors to
I
me.
would say I don't want to put them
Don't
out
go
there.
there, but
I don't want
yeah.
to put them thing out there.
Yeah, but
because
let
it's
me
not-
tell you something. I was watching I just watch a lot of live police bust and stuff. I just follow it with Asmongola and whatever. And I was observing something the other day. Now, the US is a bigger state to police than Trinidad and Tobago. We have a tiny island, right? But the thing that I was taking out, I was took away by, and I know the US callers, they will call in and weigh in on this definitely this morning. Almost every cop car in the United States of America is policed by one officer. There are never really two. It's the officer and his computer. When he calls for backup, several single occupant vehicles come by themselves to assist him. In our country, we have officers riding around in a van. And they're not as effective as one officer sitting in a car with his computer. And when he sees a crime,
You know, gentlemen, I'd really like you to probably call our colleague Shabudi to include him in this conversation.
conversation.
Because it's easy for us who are standing on the outside, and I like the position you took. You took a position from history coming up, right? You have a position from looking at it in comparison to outside. I think we are far from outside.
Right.
Far from that.
Right.
We are
And that's what I'm
miles away
saying.
from outside.
That is what I'm saying. But given our manpower and what Gibbs was basically saying with the 999 rapid response, he was basically the version where he was saying the vehicle should have an onboard computer was him showing that position, because one of the things Gibbs wanted.
we can't put the cart before the horse. We have officers that yet to want
Right.
to wear body
So
cam.
this is one of the things
well,
that Gibbs had.
Well, the problem was
Mm-hmm.
when he was instituting change.
Yes, because
And
he
most
wanted a lot of
important-
officers on the road too.
And mostly, change is not readily accepted, especially when you're doing things one way for so long.
Culture.
Culture,
Yes.
right?
He wanted to
So-
put two police officers on every corner of Port of Spain, which is the exact style of American policing.
Yeah, but I don't
want us
think-
to get sidelined by. I don't want us to get sidelined by what we think the police service should have. We have to be very careful.
Yeah, yeah.
I want you to continue to tie it on to what is taking place now. And you started by saying that this initiative of police posts was it would be the first good idea that came out with anti-crime issues, because we start with police presence, which is most important. Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
if we have police presence, at least we have a stymie
You have a
in the
deterrent
system
somewhat, yeah.
to kind of, hey, we had to watch where we pass.
Yeah, we have a deterrent.
Well said, because
Yeah.
because I sat in the show this morning. You know, I'm privileged to be here with you, gentlemen. And a caller actually said that to us.
Yeah.
The presence, because we have people. We had another caller that was against, that is saying that this has been tested. They're going to go into the communities. They're going to start to fraternize with the people there. Next thing you know, they go and link with a man. Next thing you know, block run him. Next thing you know, a man coming in. No, I'm telling you. this is how the-
But it does
that's
happen,
population
eh?
thing.
It
That's
does
something that's
happen. It
happened.
does happen.
And that's because
It has happened.
he has a history of understanding what could happen in a scenario like this. I'm saying that times change. They're going to join again the police and regiment to do patrols. The police understands the time that they're living in.
Right.
They understand it's not the last time.
Right.
We are also under new leadership. Citizen Nobody shared with us that if we were serious about what we're doing, we would push for this also.
Well, yeah, top. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Well, that would be one of the deterrents.
That's just, but that's just,
on-
that is another
let me
band-aid
throw this
on a
into-
very
let me
big
throw
saw.
this into the mix. They're saying that it was done already, but on a very limited scale.
Exactly.
Right.
This is a very wide scale
Right.
Exactly.
and a
Because
strategic,
the areas depicted are very spot on.
very spot on.
Yeah, very spot on.
Very spot on. So I want us to tie back. I don't want us to lose
I
focus.
I want us to at least go back and pinpoint where enhancing the thing could work.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, X.
So
I agree.
while police presence is one thing with army and wherever, we need to look at what was being proffered before and what can work now in tandem with that. And worse
And
yet,
tie it together.
we have AI. Worse yet.
Yeah, times
So
move.
so we have the time moved considerably from Green Gibbs time to now.
Not only AI,
Yeah.
we now have cameras in communities
Yep.
that can be accessed at
Because
a moment.
because
Well,
CCTV
that is if
because
they're
that was
working,
one
eh?
that was one of
That
his
is if they're
one-
working, eh?
That's one of his things too. He talked about CCTV footage because when we had the England rats recently there,
Yeah.
CCTV is what make everybody get a jail alone, and who had to pay
Yeah.
the fine and who mash up.
And that was one of the
and who
things he
throw back
said.
car.
He said putting a police on every corner was one thing. And then I remember I was backing Gibbs off of Giuliani because I am a big Giuliani fan, right?
Julian
Right?
was the mayor.
Was New York, yeah, right? I am a big Giuliani fan, and Giuliani was law enforcement, And the concept was put a police officer on every corner, right? He was especially talking about Port of Spain at that time. And he said put surveillance footage, cameras throughout the city. He said if a criminal does something, you must be able to follow that criminal via camera from point A to point
Back
B.
to the nest.
Right? And there are times that I've seen things happen in this country, and I asked the simple question, and I remember when I highlighted it concerning the motor accident on the highway with Minister. I asked, how come there is no footage from Hyatt all the way to the market where the minister was forced off the road with his car?
But himself, we just had a
It's not
robbery on the
working.
highway a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And a panel van turned and went up from where the van turned and go up the road. There are exactly 12 cameras from where it turned to where it stopped. And we had no response. No
Nothing.
response from any agency concerning that. So that's
that
to show
there
you.
was no response, or they did not share the response.
We can't say.
Yeah.
We can't say. But I know it had cameras because I checked 12. Right? And what I'm trying to say is I am happy for the points that the Prime Minister's put down.
Yeah.
For police presence is concerned. That is one area.
Yeah.
But I am trying to get her to understand, and Alexander to understand, that there are things in the books that we need to dust off and we need to bring back.
We need to revisit.
Because when you're looking in hindsight, you are looking at things that are relevant today. That wasn't relevant then, but they're relevant today. And if we want to step up our policing and step up our investigative arm of whatever, we need to try to dust off those books and bring back some of those things now to add. And that's why I'm really disappointed in Guevara. To be honest, this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
He is not bringing back. He's not. He doesn't come across like a man of science. And right now, we need a man of science and a man who thinking and a man
Science
who
and
critical.
technology,
You see
man.
like how Jack Warner's do it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we need right now. We need a man who does thinking out of the box. Totally.
But
With this age of criminal here, we need a new day of policing.
But-
and I am not convinced that he is the man to do it.
And you know why I would say ego has a part to play in it. I remember when they went to do exercise up Lavantil and they were boasting about the drones. And I remember saying, but when I saw the drones, I was like, who encouraged them to buy these cheap inferior drones? And I remember that same day it went viral, because here it is, when they went up there with their drones, the criminals had more advanced drones than them, and the criminals were watching them, and their drones ran out of battery and they had to take it down, while the criminals were still up in the air.
I wouldn't give myself so much liberty to say that okay, first you have to understand drone technology, right? There are two types of drones, right? And they have enterprise drones and they have recreational drones,
Which I am aware of.
right? So we have to know what are the aircrafts being used, who are the pilots, and all of this information which we
Our
don't have.
original drones that they had, that they were using first, were recreational drones.
Who is that? Who was using
The
that?
TTPS first set of drones was recreational drones.
That's not my information. I understand.
They were
that
normal.
They were doing basic drones, basic enterprise drones that they were using, and then they realized, hey, but wait now, we far behind.
They were flying DJIs, early drones. I am telling you that because I know a couple of them. They were flying DJI drones early in the first variations of it.
Well, that's not my information. Because I have brethren that fly the drones on them. So
They upgraded over the years, and that is what I'm saying. If you're upgrading the tech, upgrade the tech across the board. It wasn't done because look, okay, Gary instituted cameras on top of the mobile vehicles on them. How many of those vehicles now, when they go on exercises, we just actually see footage from? There was a point in time where you had
I would disagree with what they were using, because it's government issue, right? And government issue has to go through procurement, and procurement has a certain format, and you cannot you should not be using enterprise recreational drones for enterprise purposes. Should not, and it does not fly past procurement. So I'm having I ain't saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying that it is very difficult to skip that protocol.
When the
but when you're ordering, you have to order on that
when
enterprise.
drones had first come out,
Let me just interrupt you guys.
that was the basic drones on the market for everybody at that time.
Let me just interrupt you guys to have Trinidad and Tobago know that we will be carrying the cricket live right here in Talk City. We just
We're in social media.
about 3 minutes away. Our show will continue on social media,
on
however,
social media,
so you
hello.
have the opportunity to join the conversation and, of course, give us your views.
All right, cool. We
go
switching
for
over
break?
now. We switching over. All right, cool.
We head for a break?
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what going on, boy? Your bill so low.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vermala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago.
On the shelf, while we taking basket, them big boys fixing themselves. So every day's how we living. Every day, the poor man craving. And what your boss man give you? Less money, more trouble. Every night we ask the Lord for our ends to the struggle. It's biscuit and sardine, Lord, we have to eat. Dry bread without margarine, dog rice with no meat. While the pay they're raising by 47%. On the ground we struggling, can't even parents so tell them empty belly can't take. This catch chance like Wednesday. It's not the poor man's fault. It's like they want we some salt. The little I work for, I can't save. Kakada from cradle to the grave. Every year they keep swinging the axe. From gas price to property tax. And when it's month end, Lord have mercy on me. My child mother passing, but she child maintenance fee. If I don't have it, worries for me tail. Courthouse have no profit, is straight off the jail. Every day is how I living. From paycheck to paycheck. What it is that John Doe craving. But all your boss man give you, less money, more trouble. Every night we beg the Lord for our ends to this struggle. It's flour porridge, children have to eat. Hops bread with some cabbage, pale and with no meat. While the pay they hiking by 47%. They ban me from striking, no, you mustn't bend to tell them. Hungry belly can't take this bag I like Wednesday. Battery and assault, but like they want we suck salt. Look out for yourself now, they're fixing themselves. Stop.
All right, people, we're back inside, and yeah, we were having a vibrant discussion on what's taking place right now. She has put she has put an anti-crime measure in place, and I want to applaud her for that. Give she a little applause. Give she a little applause there. Give she a little applause there, man. She and
I will train a little physical one.
and Mr. Alexander, at least they rolling out something here that is a good start. It's a good start. Police presence is a must, because we have too much lawlessness going on in this town, and it's not just about the wicked and the man who shooting, and it's about the reckless driving, the clowns and them on the road, the basic stupidness all over the place.
The Jaywalking Association.
This is going to this has to kind of curb, and police presence will aid in that, right? We only have about 7,000 police on active duty, but you saw yesterday how big the recruitment drive was. There are a lot of people who want to be police officers. I regular TTDF does have plenty of people too, and fire service and all have recruitment. They have a lot of services taken in right now, so take the opportunity to get in and get in where
and serve your country.
Right. But I am saying that don't miss the opportunity to dust off some of the things that Gibbs was bringing. Because what Gibbs was bringing was 21st century policing. So picture if he had gotten a chance to get those initiatives into the service. But the problem was the pushback from the senior managers. They were fed up, you know, and these things, they started to get pushed back when they tell them what's going on. When you come to work, you're going into a car and you're going
on a beat.
In your grid. In your confinement. So what he was testing was that people would be responded to faster So a proper 999, a proper you were going to work on a grid in your car. So when you come to work for your 8 hours, you would go out there with your partner basically, and have 2 people in a vehicle, and you going out to you responding to different emergencies in faster times. And he was a stickler for times in terms of how they respond, how they react, and all these different issues. So picture if he had gotten that. And I know it's Gibbs thing, but at the same time too, all the rest that.
No, but to be fair, we did technically get it, and the proof of concept was working, and it was scrapped, but we didn't get it in the form of policing. You remember the community comfort patrol that was rolled out by the PPP, right? Was basically a security apparatus and a comfort apparatus where we had several, it was private sector, yes, but we had several security companies coming together under the banner to work alongside the TTPS, and we had these patrols in these communities, and that was instrumental in helping lower crime at the time, plus giving an extra level of eyes in the community to be as a somewhat of a deterrent for the TTPS, a deterrent for criminals. It was working. They even helped assist the public. I remember the woman who I was having a baby on the bus route, and because the comfort patrol was close in the area, those young men were able to rush out a Mount Hope and make the child. But that program was scrapped immediately by the PNM when they came into government, and that program was actually helping. And what was making it work was you had a group of vehicles assigned to different grids and districts across Trinidad and Tobago to work alongside the TTPS.
All right. Well, generally. But we have to look at these initiatives. Please, I beg of you, Roger Alexander and the Prime Minister.
Take a revisit to those books.
Or let's take a revisit on those books. Forget is Gibbs. Forget. Put he out of all their head. He dead and gone. Rest in peace. But at the same time, he had some good initiatives for trying to make Trinidad into a better place, but the resistance was real high. For...
As with anything forward thinking.
Anything change?
Yeah.
Or they don't want to hear nothing
more. They
don't
want to hear nothing more than.
And the senior soups and the superintendents and wherever else had to push back, and
because you see, it would have made them have to walk a specific line that they didn't want to walk.
Well, yeah, but we have to walk it. If we want to solve crime, we have to walk that line.
Well, let me ask a question, X. You mentioned the fingerprinting, right? And having it digitized. Like how we have the Sex Offenders Act, which is an act that exists, but a lot of people don't go on it to see it. And it's not something that is publicized properly. You have to physically search for the Sex Offenders Registry to see who is on it and what vicinity they are in. And they're not really tracked properly in this country neither. So you don't really know where they are. Do you think that along with the fingerprint database, should we have a criminal database where you see people who were either involved in criminal activity or are persons of interest by the TTPS?
Come on, give me that question. That question kind of difficult.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah, you lost me that question.
You were saying that the fingerprint registry that Dwayne Gibbs wanted, which was digital fingerprinting, right? When your fingerprint is taken, if you are, it is to work alongside your certificate of good character. And if you are a criminal, it is to keep record of you being a criminal, whether you was convicted, whether you're not convicted anymore. That is what they take the fingerprints for. It's supposed to be used for that, right? To work alongside crime fighting.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Point, yeah.
So if it is a case...
So they get a... Oh, no, go ahead.
Right. So if it is a case, we have the Sex Offenders Registry, which lets you know digitally anybody who has done a form of sexual, issue or anything like that in the registry. What I'm saying is this. Do you think that along with the fingerprinting of criminals, past or present, do you think that it should also have a digital registry, right, where the citizens can see who are criminals, either past or present, that you can log in and physically see this is a person that the TTPS is on the lookout, because they publish it. Police is looking for these escaped convicts that run away, right? But if it is a case that, let's just say, the police hasn't captured the person, do you think it should have a database where we could log in and see possible persons of interest that the TTPS is looking for, along with the fingerprints and
That question,
everything like that?
that question doesn't need an answer. That question doesn't need an answer. It is
Because
clear.
because you're thinking forward thinking, and the reason why I'm asking that question is because you remember you now say that there were people who were putting up an opposition against future thinking things. So that is why I'm asking you that question, because I might feel like that is a good idea, but you might not feel like that is a good idea. Snipes might have a difference in opinion. So that is why I asked that question. Do you think that we should have a registry similar to the sex offenders registry, that the public could log in and see persons of interest?
Let's put it this way: this prison service is the trash, right? It is trash. And you can't get the basics done. The basics you can't get done. You get registry.
Gentlemen, I would really like for you to allow for your callers to get in.
Yeah, well, let them come in, let them come in.
Broadcasting,
I want to hear citizen nobody
via
on this.
social media.
The prison service right now, boy, they don't
I know that prison system thing is a sour spot for you. That has robbed you bad all the time.
Well, my batch, all my batch who are in the service still are middle managers, eh?
Wow.
All my batch from superintendent, senior, well, there's no senior superintendent, but you have from superintendent come down. It's my batch until PO2. So, and that is, my batch was 200, eh?
You would have been up there.
Yeah, so the problem is, I just look out for them, because they're my batch, you know what I mean? And the service is in a mess, in a total mess. And we just limping along, coming along with the service. And that's not good, because somebody's life will be taken. I had 10 officers from my batch. 10 died at the hands of bullet. Eh?
Wow.
Man in the front yard water in the lawn and get bullet. And he's a man that's walking the gun right through. He leave it inside on the table that evening, and just come outside to water lawn and get gunned down. Our next one, he get gunned down selling fruits on the highway. He have a fruit stall, wherever, and he get gunned down that way. I have several members of my batch that died because of that building 13. Jackson and all, my good friend, he was a senior superintendent at the time, in charge of building 13. And I know building 13 because I wrote the procedures for building 13. Right? And I know it wasn't for remanded inmates. And I know it wasn't for hardened criminals. And I know it wasn't for high-risk inmates. And the housing people there. And 3 of my batch dead because of building 13. Because Jackson was a no-nonsense kind of officer. He's a stickler for the rules. He can't tell you nothing about anything outside. He's a stickler for the rules. He going with that. Yeah.
The rules are.
You know, and he died because of that. You know what I mean? And 2 other officers died. So it has rubbed me the wrong way when you're talking the prison service and when you're talking that database talk. That is something that was worrying me. It does worry me.
Well, Ninja Boy 007 said...
I do agree with you.
Ninja Boy 007 said, yes, I agree with you. OV citizens need to have a look at that database. We can also help the TTPS as to apprehend criminals.
Obi, do we presently have any sort of database?
We have a sex offender database.
We almost have more. We almost have more.
A sex offenders registry. We have that.
We almost more remand prisoners.
Yeah, I think you could pull it.
We almost more remand prisoners than prisoners.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how sad we is right now. You was?
That's true.
So you can't publish your body that's on remand. You can republish the criminals when they get let go and so on.
6224911, 6224911, 3944911. That is our WhatsApp line. 3944911. You can also give us a WhatsApp call on that line. Yeah.
So you see how fast I can pull it up. Yes, this is local.
I think the law
And
doesn't
it is
allow for
one
you to reveal anybody on that. That's for your personal use.
Yes, you can't go and put it up on Facebook and stuff like that.
Why?
You can get charged for that.
I always felt it was stupid, but that is the rules when it comes to using it.
Using the
You cannot.
Yeah, that's our sex offenders registry. You can go through and see all the people. And unlike many of the government databases that are dinosaurly slow, that one
is extremely fast.
It working with rocket fuel. It works really well. Whoever was the person that designed the web page and the infrastructure for that. Brilliant.
Well, people know about
it's
that.
very important.
I don't know
Yeah,
what.
this is the first time I'm seeing it. I've heard of it, and I know when they were.
Well, I've heard of it, but I never saw it.
So
I never went looking for it
So
anymore.
we had an issue in recent time when it comes to the child protective services, and somebody was charged. Had we gone through that, I don't think we would have had this. Let's go for the news. Is there news at this time?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Who we were as a people.
The Prime Minister also applauded the West Indies team for defeating Pakistan by 90 runs in the first test at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, dedicating the emotional win to the late Barbadian legend Sir Garfield Sobers on what would have been his 90th birthday.
The gods conspired that our West Indies team would equally celebrate him yesterday by winning on the 90th birthday of Sir Gary a match by 90 runs, but more importantly in 4 days, so that each and every one of those Bajan cricketers could be here today to say farewell, our hero.
Former Chief Justice Sir David Simmons describes Sir Gary as more than a sporting icon. He said Sir Gary Sobers' achievements inspired a region preparing to govern itself.
If on the 30th of November 1966, Barbadians needed inspiration and to be imbued with self-confidence that we could make a success of independence, I venture to suggest that Sir Gary provided that inspiration by his legendary exploits in 1966.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Kyrie Roberts. This is TDT News. Topping the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced the establishment of 30 Joint Army Police posts in communities across the country in the upcoming 4 months. In a social media post, the Prime Minister explained that the Joint Army Police posts will provide a sense of comfort and help communities regain the use of their public spaces, where, she said, for many years, communities requested initiatives like these. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar revealed 24 proposed locations, with 6 more to be determined. Some of the proposed locations are Taruba Flyover, Grand Bazaar Interchange, Kuva Interchange, Kelly Village, Caroni, Eddie Hart Grounds, Tunapuna, Ikakas Junction, Lady Young Road near the walkover, and the junction of Tamina Road and Kumuto Road. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar encouraged NGOs, business chambers, community groups, and councils to adopt and support these posts and work with the security services. Meanwhile, Minister of Homeland Security and MP for Tunapuna, Roger Alexander, is welcoming the establishment of joint army and police posts in communities across Trinidad and Tobago, including 2 locations within his Tunapuna constituency. The minister said the initiative forms part of a wider crime-fighting strategy aimed at increasing the visibility of law enforcement officers, rebuilding public confidence, and improving citizens' sense of safety. He added that the ministry will continue collaborating with the protective services to tackle criminal activity and safeguard law-abiding citizens. Meanwhile, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister and Mayaro MP, Nicholas Morris, also welcomed the announcement after his constituency was selected for one of the 30 joint security posts. Minister Morris said communities have been calling for a stronger security presence for years and described the move as a step toward helping residents feel safer and reclaim public spaces. In other news, the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services is supporting efforts to prevent gender-based violence through a new initiative targeting young men. The ministry has provided a $10,000 grant to the Coalition Against Domestic Violence for its Colors of Peace, Empowering Young Men to Prevent Gender-Based Violence program. The 8-week project, set to begin in October, will engage 15 young men between the ages of 13 and 19 in sessions focused on positive masculinity, emotional awareness, healthy relationships, and nonviolent conflict resolution. Minister Vandana Mohit says addressing gender-based violence requires the involvement of men and boys, adding that initiatives like this are critical in creating safer families and communities. The Coalition Against Domestic Violence has been working since 1985 to combat gender-based violence through advocacy, counseling, education, and training. In sport, a 20-member track and field contingent departed on Monday to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Oregon. On the team are the likes of 2026 Carifta medalist Jenna Marie Thomas and Corey Robley, along with Omari Brown, Alex Sipasad, Cristiano Perez, and Kadeem Chinapu. Also present is Kaya Hyson and Trevon Stewart. The championships is set to take place on the Hayward Field at the University of Oregon and will run from August 5th to 9th.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Shabadi. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
We are targeting US $3 billion.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
The culture, the politics. The
From
people,
July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind.
All right, people, we're back inside, and you're live on Off the Record, and we are on the socials now because Free to Air Cricket is running on the channel, right? Yep. So we are on the social. So good morning, social people.
So before we dig into the social, I want to give my friends in the studio here a little laugh. I'm going to drop the audio. It's no laughing matter, but I'll give them a little laugh. This is when Macoin goes wrong, X. And DJ Snipes. Press play. So apparently, you want to tell the callers what you see it?
Well, you tell them that, man.
Well, apparently, Uncle went McQueen at somebody's house and pushed his head between the burglar proof, and now his head is stuck. And the hunters and search rescue is trying to figure out how to get Uncle's head unstuck from between these two people.
That personal Mako.
It's a very personal Mako. So his head is stuck in between.
All he needs to do is go upward and stick out his head.
Well,
It's not covered on top.
well, I guess so, but but he might be slow somehow.
Oh, he's probably not that tall. Because how is he getting the angle and nobody seems
nobody
seems interested in lifting him out of his situation.
Okay then.
Pretty strange.
I'm more curious at how long he was there before they noticed he was stuck.
Well,
Because if it was McQueen 4 o'clock in the morning, I just stuck there for 4 in the morning.
No, it can't be that bad, man. It can't be that bad. And they are coming forth in the communities across the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we want to applaud the Prime Minister for her initiative thus far. Police presence is a must because the way things going right now, you need that police presence.
All online.
Hello, good day.
Mm.
Good morning, X. Good morning, Obi.
Morning.
Good morning.
I am hearing some, and to the director and to all the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me. I am hearing some silence. You remember it had a woman's group called Womantra? Is Womantra?
Yeah.
Them don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right. The silent, and they used to basically defend women. Why they not defending this woman, our Prime Minister? You know, it had a parliamentary caucus of women, the parliamentary woman something
PNM Woman League and all of them.
Right. I think the blue red lady was instrumental in things. I ain't hear them saying anything.
The who? The blue red lady? Who's that?
The blue hair lady.
The blue hair lady.
The blue hair lady? Who's that?
I'm trying to
I
remember.
was the former speaker. Always she hair always blue in parliament. Only can't remember what. I mean, they say she gone somewhere in the bathroom and only forget. And most importantly,
I was closing my fridge door.
Two women group. You know what they're going to buy and support? A cheese and wine festival, which basically will be managed by the Star to fund the Balize House. I go and enjoy your morning.
You too, sir.
Alright, okay, alright.
He was closing the fridge door.
Yeah, I was closing my fridge door. So I didn't get a chance to watch it. No, I was closing my fridge door.
No, but let's not.
You don't know where that phrase come from?
Let's not mix it up. The PNM's women.
No, but you don't know where that
for
closing
PNM.
your fridge door phrase come
Of
from.
course I know.
Because I want to know.
It is what it is. No.
Obi.
Don't try to sharpen it up. It is what it is. I understand.
I may not be very loud, but I'm well aware.
Well,
You're better.
I understand that the lady who went and do the thing, who made her, I understand is Penny's good friend.
Serious?
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that that's a good friend from New York. And she's not even living here.
But I told
As
you
far as
all,
I understand.
I told you all if you listen
I don't know
well.
how true it is, but I would have said.
I told you if you listen well, you'll notice that she had an accent.
Well, they say she not living here, and there's one of Penny friend, so she trying to muster. Watch it.
She trying to fanfully the thing. I tell you, the fanfully anything.
Well, it is what it is, but at the same time too, we have to be very careful. Or we just selling these dreams all about the place, and then people buying into it. People buying into it, most important. But only have 4 more years. Only have to talk for 4 more years. That's a lot of time, you know. That's a lot of time. I seen the mayor of Tego Martin.
Yeah, Kingsley Ashira rattled right now.
Start up on Julian John. So her new exercise now is to go around
and
to
film
the areas
everything.
where it have big holes and whatever.
Big holes that was there since PNM time,
I don't want to get in this too much because
I actually think you should get into it.
Them big holes was there since PNM time, eh?
I remember my role and function to her.
Yeah.
She is going around making videos in her capacity as mayor.
Yes, because Kingsley called she out.
And saying that we have holes here, we have, infrastructure issues, whatever the case may be, right? But I try to understand where she going with it, because they're selling a narrative that the corporation doesn't have any money and the UNC taking with their money and all kind of mad thing. So nothing else can work properly. That's why I want to kind of stay away from it, because I have things to say on that issue, but I don't want to say just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet.
I will just say this. The reason why she has ramped up her activities is because Kingsley has had his foot on her neck over the last week. He's been highlighting all of the issues that is going on in her constituency that she was not taking oversight to. And he apparently rattled the cage.
Look one of them.
I saw the video.
Apparently he rattled the cage so much that she got up 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. She leopard scared.
She got up 2 o'clock in the morning and went live and made a video basically calling Kingsley a fool and this and that. And Kingsley didn't give in to the narrative. Instead, Kingsley doubled down and showed more information of her incompetence in her constituency. And then that is when she started putting out videos to try to show people that she's working. But a lot of the optics that she was putting out, the person who actually responded to those situations before her was Philip Edward Alexander. He was there first and rectified the issue. And then she showed up. So
now, I try to understand where works is concerned, where certain things are concerned. If you're not getting it done, you just hire 40 people in the corporation. No, 70 people in the corporation. Right? Why does it take a truck and just go around and at least fill the holes in them?
Well, she's claiming she don't have the money for the materials and she don't have the money for this and she don't have the money for that. And the budget has been cut and they just don't have it.
So where should them get it from? Where should them get it from?
So is it a case of, okay, we don't have the money, leave the hole there? Nothing can be done?
What they were saying?
We can't put up our hands and surrender.
So where is for a truck? One truck with some hot mix and 3 workers in the corporation
to come and sort
to
that
go
out.
around and just sort out the major holes, the major ones. Not, you ain't about to do the little ones, but the major one. What is stopping you from doing that as the mayor of Diego Martin?
Sometimes people want what they want, so they use things to pressure.
she will say that is not her job.
But I just can't understand these people. I really can't understand these people.
And this is why.
Because if I am the mayor and I sit down in the chair, right, and I have already paying workers because I just hired 70, right? So which means you have budget for that.
Yeah.
So you have the manpower. So one truck with some hot mix, full of hot mix, and maybe little stones in the corner, wherever. And they go around to all the major holes in the area. Even if you want to show up, Julian John, that is the way to show up, not so?
Yeah.
That would be one of the ways to show up.
She won't do that because that would require her to actually do her job, and she's not doing that.
Yeah, well, she real strange. I was like, I find it real strange because a bar of shops is small money, right? I buy some for my house. They're quite doing some repairs on my house. So a couple bags of sharp sand, and you have DMU there. You have DMU right across the road there, and thing. So one truck, one big truck with one set of hot mix and some sharp sand, and you have the men and them shoveling out sand, filling the hole, and then pave it over with a thing and move on to the next one. At least it's a temporary fix, right?
Yeah.
At least. Because it's the motorist is the key factor here, not the minister. The motorist is what is supposed to be studying. And if I want to show up a ministry, I would have my team working every day and taking videos of them working too. Taking them videos of them shoveling out sand and filling the holes where needs.
A sycophant on the chat say how the reason why she's not doing that is because that is the Ministry of Works job.
Alright, the Ministry of Works job, but we do have money per se. So I try to understand why you in charge of the borough, not so? And your ultimate focus should be on your motorists, right? Because you don't want them dropping in the hole and damaging the rim and the tire and whatever. So all the major holes, you have a truck going wrong, and you have a cameraman, and you show them what you're doing, at least.
Well, she did show that she was capable of picking up one piece of 2x4 and throwing it in her truck, so kudos.
Oh, that one real strange. That one real strange.
Hey, the woman working.
Because if...
The woman working.
Well...
Is that so?
Hey, the woman working.
How you doing, Archie?
Good morning, good morning.
How things?
Find your bricks in the studio since you're on TikTok these days, boy. You ain't want to mingle with me at all, boy.
It's not that. I'm a show coming up now, boy. So, you know when you...
That's reminding all that all.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's alright.
They call us like those nice little thing when we go off script a little bit.
Natural. They come in nice and natural.
They love when it we go off script.
6224911 6224911 3944911.
Your belly still bigger. Don't forget that.
Hey, don't hate on him, man. Guy big like a wheel on the side.
That video here the show with him with his belly still bigger.
Hey,
belly big still.
Don't hate on him, man.
Man say 6 pounds he lost.
I bigger than you.
Guys, we're gonna take a break and come back.
Roll it out. Hey! Take with. The UTC invested all in. Take with. Bow them out. Play like a unit, trust in the vision. We taking the win cause that is the mission. In partnership there is power, stand united, rise up on tower. UTC supporting and proud. Come Trinbago, shout it out loud. Shout it out.
A proud official sponsor of the Trinbago Night Riders, the Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation. Trust in what's possible.
Ready to unlock your next getaway? Switch to B.
Folks.
All right, people, we're back inside, and it is indeed quite exciting here in the studio. Ever so often we get talk from time to time. Hey, left your 2 phone here, man. What going on do?
You wait to chat
going All right. To all the people in the chat, good morning to all of y'all, and you all don't have to agree with me, right? I always tell people that, right? I have to tell people that from the time I started this program, me and Stephan. We don't have to be right at any given time. We don't have to be right. But all we ask you to do is to think. That's all we ask you to do. Right? We're not saying that everything we say is right and whatever the case may be, but we are saying
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad?
kind of know what you're doing kind of thing, right? Right. So technically, I want to say that, well, the Prime Minister says she's ready for her booze and they'll get a chance. Well, she real cheeky, right? And she made a comment that, Ole ain't get a chance to boo her. And if I am right, or if the public is right with that stunt that was pulled the other day, or they taking this thing too far, boy, they just going the distance with this.
Okay.
Or they just going like the Energizer Bunny. Something wrong with that, boy. Something really wrong with that. We had to kind of check ourselves in terms of how we administer certain things with this race talk and you know what I mean?
It's a radicalization of their voter base, and like she said, they will get ample amount of opportunity to boo her in the independence.
Well, I always listen to Nobody's concept about the Hydra, and every time he talks, it just gets me more riled up because you're seeing it every day. You're seeing that kind of divisive kind of way. All right, I ain't inside, so I want to get back inside, so I'm going and mash anything. As I say, right?
I want to hear what he has to say because he now dropped something there for you.
Who the?
Nobody.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Yeah,
Morning, nobody here. So you're talking about this crime thing, and I guess the police post discussion came up and Guy Griffith's response. My position is none of that should replace the Zoso bill. All of what we're talking about this morning are tactical things. What do you deploy, when, where, and why? Who do you deploy, when, where, and why? Right? That's tactical. But tactical deployment must come below a strategic plan. And for me, the strategic plan that makes sense is Zoso. Because Zoso deals and approaches the reality that we're dealing with a war here. And in a war, there are several fronts you have to fight on, not just the tactical front. Hearts and minds is important. Peacekeeping is important. How do you rebuild after the war? How do you replace what the warring factions had that they were fighting for to begin with, right? And I think Zoso has a lot of the pieces around that. That's just a strategic plan. And tactical plans can never replace tactical deployment can never replace a strategic plan. So my suggestion is the government should go back at getting that Zoso bill passed. If you have to do these tactical deployments because the state of emergency ending soon, fine. Let's keep the peace, right? And you have to remember something. The police force is a peacekeeping force. They are called peace officers. They're not warriors. They're not soldiers. And that's probably the difficulty that Guy Griffith is having. He wants to attack this enemy that he sees as a threat to the nation. That's why he wants a mobile tactical woven team rather than fixed fortifications, right? As the police post. Both are correct as tactical questions, right? But the strategic plan that I think would work to not only decide how we're going to deploy these tactical plans on the tactical front, but how do we win the hearts and minds? Hearts and minds is always important in war. Propaganda is always important in war, right? How do you rebuild communities after they've been devastated? There's something called the Marshall Plan that rebuilt Europe after World War II. If the Marshall Plan was not implemented, Europe would have been a basket case today, right? So it's a much bigger discussion, but my thing is Zoso. Zoso is the best thing I've heard so far. Come on over here. So let's talk tactical things. So I insist, start at the beginning again. You have to start from scratch. Secure the borders. The People Partnership tried to do that back in 2014-15 there, when they purchased the Damon vessels. 12 vessels to secure 6 coastlines. That makes sense, especially since at the time too, we had 6 hostile 30 meters. So with that fleet, you could have secured the coastline. A large fleet of smaller vessels to secure the coastline makes sense. A small fleet of large vessels cannot secure the coastline. That's why this argument about the OPVs, which I'm hearing more and more these days, makes no sense. And I wrote a paper on that. Okay? Makes no sense. But even back then, so we had Dwayne Gibbs, and he came up with these Zenith aircraft. Good idea. Aerial surveillance. Right? When you have the air, you have the battlefield. Of course, we've marched on from there. We have drones. And in that same paper, my only recommendation for purchase for this government, well, the government then, 2019, was to purchase at least 6 unmanned aerial vehicles with a flight time of 24 hours. Right? So that you would always have at least 2 airborne at any given time. The rule of thirds, right? 2 airborne, 2 ready to take up duty, and 2 in maintenance. Right? So secure the coastline first. Now more than ever, given what the reality of what's going on in and around Trinidad, we have to secure the coastline. We have help from the Americans, which is good, but we need to secure our coastline. And then you deal with what's inside. Or you could do it simultaneously, funding permitted. But we have to, that discussion about our coastline is still up in the air, unfortunately. I don't know if the Dame vessels are back in service. As soon as the PNM came in power in 2015, they packed them up. And I know they ran down a bit. So my thing is get that fleet back up and running, secure the coastline, and then you start to operate from within.
All right, okay. Well, he's been talking about that since beginning, you know, and we understand where that is.
President, good morning, Mr. X, Snipes, and Obi. Well, my take on the Zozo thing that Mr. Nobody was saying is maybe they have some strategy out with that. That's why they're doing it like that now. Now they got time to rock back and look at it, because if you're doing the Zozo now, I mean, you'll go down into one area, as let's say, and the bandit now know all the gangsters and them know, well, hey, they're coming inside out here. Let me go somewhere else. You know, let me go by Obi. So if Obi have a unit down there now, they go, so good, we can't go by Obi, we gotta go by Mr. X. So I guess that's probably what they're trying to do, put different, you know, pegs around the area. So at least if they get to move around, they will be able to, you know, grab them, as I would say. So I guess that might work, right? This is my opinion.
Okay, and people, we have to go to your play draw, right? So we'll be back very shortly.
Draw, supervised by independent auditors KPMG and presided over by the National Lotteries Control Board. Good luck, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to the NLCB's 10:30 a.m. draw for Tuesday, 4th August 2026. Let's draw this morning's winning playway number. Winning number, it is 25. Lucky Markets Morocco. That's number 25. Keep your ticket.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Shabadi. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vermala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today, exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Shabadi. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history.
Well, I see the soldier is getting full rights. You know, the one that was ambushed and killed, unfortunately. May you rest in peace, sir. But it is very unfortunate that they had to ambush you and get rid of you like that. That's not good. What the term they use? Unalive? They unalive you. you know.
All they just use that term. I just actually say the word and I don't get flags. I don't know what's going on with all that.
Well, I hear them saying that.
Yeah, they're stupid. I could say the word normal and I do get flagged for it. But yeah, but that's good stuff, you know. Sad to see that he lost his life in the manner that he did.
I cool, man. I cool otherwise. It's just unfortunate that he had to die, you know, like that, you know what I mean? But that is a kind of thing you have to get accustomed to, yes, because people that's dropping out the race, good friends. I have 22 friends that are just dropping out the race between 24 and 26. 22 friends. And most of them took the vaccine. I just saying, I don't know if it is that is the case, but they would have.
You don't find it strange that, look, I just monitor it and I just keep track of all of them with the numbers, right?
Yeah.
You don't find it strange that there is a large passing of life in the TTPS since the vaccination drive?
A large what?
Passing of TTPS officers since the vaccination drive. You always hearing officer loses life, heart complication. Officer loses life, mysterious illness, and it's young people. young
I have
people.
I have a couple officers that in that 22.
Yeah.
One is Kyle Marshall. He is with
Kyle, a plus size guy.
Yeah.
I was my real virgin from
Yeah,
school back
yeah.
in the days. Yeah, real
Nice.
good guy too.
Yeah, he is my brother. He was waiting on a promotion in the building, sitting down, and that is one of the things. And then I try to, you see, I want to feel all you know what is a AED. I don't know. Well, I'll explain it. Right? It's listen. Let me just right. It's an automated external defibrillator. Right? It's where the heart goes into arrhythmias is when you get a heart attack, right? That's when your heart moving like this and it start to move faster and whatever, right? It's called that arrhythmias of the heart, right? And this machine was, how to put it? This is like AI back in the day that was now coming into, it wasn't anything then, but it is something now, right? It is an AI machine that is called a automatic external defibrillator, right? Which would shock your heart if your heart is in arrhythmias. And it is also foolproof. So it is very easy to use. You break a glass, you pull out the defibrillator, and you place the pads where it is designed. There's a diagram inside of the box, wherever. Kind of thing on the pad, wherever. So you put it on someone's chest. So in the event that they are having a heart attack, it have few things that could sort you out with a heart attack, right? One of them is hitting your chest and whatever, playing with your hand, whatever. They're different things, right? But this one is a foolproof tool that comes in a red container, about this size, about this size. Right, you zip it open, you put the person to lie down, and it goes onto the pads go where it's supposed to be like this kind of thing on your chest, and it monitors the rhythm of the heart, right? And you could press that button whole day. It would not shock the person if it is not in arrhythmias. So that's why they say it's foolproof, right? So you basically, you put on the pads, and it tells you, well, stay away from the person. It would talk back to you, kind of thing, right? We're ready to shock now and whatever.
If the person is really in that
in arrhythmias, yeah, right? And then it administers a shock, and that now there's a thing called the golden hour. Anytime the body experiences trauma, right? There's a window of an hour, right? That from the time you get injured to the time you get professional help, that is in between there is the golden hour. And most times you have good Samaritans who would come in and help and assist and whatever. If you're bleeding out, wherever, they tie your jersey on your hand or wherever it is, or apply pressure to the wound or whatever, right? This is basic first aid. Well, not basic, but it's first aid basically, right? And that time, that hour time, is the difference between whether or not you would live or you would die. So, dependent on how you are treated at the time, is how you would get you would determine whether or not when a doctor actually sees you and rushes you to the ER or wherever it is. That's what makes the difference. Because like if someone gets shot, you would apply pressure to the wound to try to stymie the blood coming out of your system. Because any leak in your body is blood coming out, right? And you're going to hypovolemic shock.
Well, you are saying that is what's supposed to be done, but in Trinidad, that is not what is done.
Well, I'm giving you all a free crash course.
You're giving you free crash course, but they would still do the opposite. Because in Trinidad, the first thing they do when they see somebody shot and they're leaking out is they pull out their phone.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't know better. They don't know better. But a good Samaritan who is trained at some level of first aid and whatever, would know what to do. Within that first golden hour, it depends whether or not you live or you die. So when you get to a crime scene, you may not want to. Most people just pull out their phone and want to tape People drawing and people taping.
Yeah, but not only that, do you think, because I always say forward thinking, right? And I know given, I don't want to say you probably don't have it now, but I believe given how responsible you are as an individual and your past life, I have it because of stuff I do. But do you carry a medical kit in your car?
No, I don't.
Because I always felt like that was something mandatory that all citizens should have.
BMW does have
right.
one.
And I have,
but
I
it
carry
expires.
one in my
Mostly
car.
stuff expire.
Right. I because of what went on with me, I had that, and because of the sports, the boys in sports, you always have to have certain things on standby. And my medical kit consists of a Me Too cell phone. People just make fun of me for Me Too, but I still have a Me Too cell phone. Me Too cell phone with $100 credit on it, charger, and the phone is always charged. You have first aid kit, you have gauze, you have a small scissors, small cutting knife, plasters, band-aid, painkillers, and these things. And I've always told people, I think mandatory along with your car jack and everything else, you should always have a first aid kit in your bag, you know, to expect the unexpected with a little gloves and stuff. And I think basic first aid is something all citizens in Trinidad and Tobago should try to at least learn at some point in time.
Is that happening? That is not happening across the board, and that is what concerned me. You know, now to get a first aid course is a problem. When you do get the course, you have to find money to pay for it most of the times.
But do they have like free ones?
Well, I don't know if they have any free ones anywhere. Basically, I don't know if Red Crosses do it or
I'll leave the phone on that.
Or what you call it?
Look it up.
I don't know if it's free across the board, but basic first aid is a must. But for instance, when we have an accident taking place, okay, like a gunshot, men ain't going wrong that.
Yeah.
Men ain't going wrong that because a man done get gunshot already, and nobody really taking them seriously unless it's a trained professional.
But not only that too. A lot of people, and this is something I've heard mentioned in the streets already. When you see a man get caught, you don't try to save him, because if you save him, the men who con him might come back and con you for saving him.
Right. So mind your business, basically.
Mind your business. Take out your phone and record him going. But don't try to save him from going.
Yeah, but having okay, for instance, if you are on a floor, you're working on a floor, and you're in a middle management position, I would implore you to get an AED on every floor that you're working on in your building as a middle manager.
Yeah.
So to the middle managers outside there, it's something that you need to look into, because it could make the difference of whether a person lives or a person dies.
A perfect example would have been what took place with Karen. Maybe if they had something
Lovely.
like that on the set.
You know what I mean?
They could have assisted
And most important, so on every floor, you should have at least one AED on a glass case or something like how does that them
The
break
fire
me if
extinguisher case, breaking case
break
of an
yeah.
emergency.
Right. So you have one of that on a floor. So at least that person who attends to you with a colleague, you sit down there and he start to get faint and start to look kind of funny. You can apply the AED and it wouldn't shock you unless you are in arrhythmia. So if you have problems with your heart and whatever, you should let colleagues know, because you're working in a cubicle next to somebody. You should at least let them know that you have a heart problem or whatever. And these machines would help to delay a death. Let's put it this way, to delay a death. So it would more or less, you open the person's shirt. Well, you don't open a woman's shirt, right? But you just open the person's shirt, you apply the pads, and it will talk to you and tell you what it is going to do. Checking the person's pulse, wherever, the arrhythmias, wherever. And if it is, it would tell you, stand back from the person, I am going to shock now, kind of thing. And you just press the button and it shocks the person, right? And that may be the difference between whether or not that person lives or dies. So things like that is very important. So go out and research what is an AED, people, an automatic external defibrillator. Yeah. Wait, it's supposed to have one. It's supposed to have one here at least somewhere. But generally,
and for people, is it now? You say it gets things going again. You think
Well, it gets to that point where you could get professional help.
Professional help.
At least it gets you.
So in other words, it has for some PNM people if you put it on their brain.
Go. It wouldn't shock them. It wouldn't shock them. Sorry.
It might do more. It might say, this person need to go out. Let me assist. Let me shock them till they go.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, but generally...
But do you think that our medical building codes should be upgraded? Because you're forward thinking with this. You're clearly asking for a call of action here to have managers implement this throughout their businesses. So do you think that maybe it should be done also on a national level, or is it just
what should be done on a national level?
Something the medical safety codes for the buildings in terms of that should be added to it.
We don't take safety seriously in Trinidad and Tobago, number one. And number two, it would take a good manager to be able to implement that in a building, right? To know the difference, what is needed, basically. And if they don't know, you can't know what you don't know.
And this is where a big part of the information of the employees, their medical records and stuff like that. Because if I am an employer and I know that, let's just say I have 100 people working in a building.
Right.
And out of that 100 people, I have 20 that has heart complications.
Right.
I would like to know that I seek my employees' interest and put some form of something that can give them a certain level of safety and comfort if something like that does pop off on them.
Well, yeah. Well, it should be the responsibility of the middle managers again, of trying to understand where they are and where they need to be. If you're a good safety person, you would have those things at the top of your head, right? Because the average Joe doesn't know much about first aid. They don't know anything about first aid, really. The average Joe. They need to know to tie a sling or to prop up an arm. For instance, if someone gets impaled by something on the job site, whatever the case will be, you don't go removing that just like that. You tie if the person is impaled, right? You wrap around it and you keep it in place until a medical professional gets to you. So if somebody is you don't just you pull it out and pull out the piece of whatever it is, whatever the thing is, you don't do that. And most people don't know that, and that's why they just pull it out and all kind of matic and cause further complications. Because you have to get up someone who is trained in how to remove it and what to do and whatever to do, what drugs to administer, all the different. We ain't going into all of that, but the basic training for somebody who is on first aid basically is what would determine whether or not you live or you die. You know what I mean? But basic first aid should be taught in every organization throughout Trinidad. You know, the employers supposed to at least get a basic training schedule for anybody. Because right now people dropping like flies all over the place, for all kind of different things. People getting stroke, people getting heart attack.
I believe all them things is because of the poke.
Because of the
job.
Well, let's put it this way. It wasn't that rampant before. Let's just put it that way. But I can't say definitively that it is what's going on. But I know 22 of my friends died from that. Well, I would say that they died from complications or something, something like that. Because my virgin, we played pool Saturday. Sunday, he bring back his wife. We play pool. We going good, wherever. So he going back to work. He working in the bank. And he going outside his back door on a Monday morning before he go to work to hang out something on the line and for a long boop and dead. Just so. And he had no heart problems before.
No, nothing.
He was no person suffering from no heart issue. Not saying that is his job or anything, but I'm just saying it's just strange that 22 of them they just died because, and it's really kind of strange. I don't know if these 70-year-olds of today had that problem when they were 50.
No.
their friends and them was dying at
No,
50.
but not only that, because I remember that I would have had this problem too. And being a big guy, I don't really study my health per se, especially after kicking that COVID thing. But I know people are concerned because they're like, boy, you know, it wasn't this big, and why you drop so many weight, and them thing will come. But I know that there was a doctor friend of mine that told me she was noticing a trend in a lot of younger people, which were younger people, this generation especially, their heart rates was a lot slower.
The heart rate was a lot slower?
Yeah, when they come in for tests, a lot of them, when they come in for tests, she would notice that their heart rate was slower.
Well, like put it this way. Over time, we'll figure out whether the vaccine or not caused the killings. Over time, unfortunately. You know, because that people had long COVID. That people still have long COVID. They have all kind of mad thing going on with them. All the diabetes going out of whack. The thyroid acting up.
Well, they say
all
I
these different.
still have it. They just want my blood work every now, because of how I have natural immunity. They just want blood work from me every now and then.
Okay, but COVID was indeed a special time.
Yes,
in our
in
lifetime.
our country.
In our lifetime, in general, across the world.
Yeah, across the world.
But that people had bodies piling up like thing and good.
Few can say they experienced the plague. We did.
Well, yeah.
When you hear plague, you only say
when
about
I
plague in the Bible.
Well, when I heard the ship the other day that had the
you thought it was 2.2 coming.
Yeah, boy. Watch it, COVID spread real fast.
Rats, and people has underestimate how dangerous rats are. Rats,
Now leptospirosis too is another one too. You know, that plays with your liver. It gives you jaundice and all these different things. So you have to be very careful with how you treat with your children. And then they have the anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
That is something that we need to pay attention to, because they go into these schools without being well, I don't think you can enter. I wonder if you can enter a school now without being vaccinated.
No, you have to provide your vaccine card.
Right, so
to be registered.
So what the anti-vaxxers do?
No.
Any primary school, anytime you have 5 years, right, and you're going into a school, you're supposed to have a vaccine card.
Yeah, well, that is for like these stuff, but it has people who have workarounds. Because I have a buddy who's a Rastafarian who don't believe in it, and his children going to school, and he fought them tooth and nail on that, and none of his children are vaccinated, and they are some of the most healthiest children I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, to a point, when they get infected with something,
well,
they are going to spread it. They will spread it to be faster than the average.
He will figure out that case when it comes. But as far as he's concerned, he don't want this.
I was watching a movie. I was watching Law and Order. And there was an episode on an anti-vaxxer. A girl decides she not vaccinating her child against measles, and that child went to the school, right, and passed it on to 4 people. And that 4 people end up to 48 people, right? And she was taken to court for not vaccinating her children, right? And I guess that is the risk in terms of the verdict of the case. She won one and lost the other. So she get like about a 6 months probation kind of thing, whatever. But generally, not vaccinating your child is something that you have to be very careful of you sending your children to mix with those children. And we have anti-vaxxers out there. But I know in most schools here in Trinidad,
they enforce it.
They ask
Especially
for
from
a vaccination card, which you get in the health center.
Yeah.
But not going to school with a vaccination card, is that possible? I don't know. I don't know if the callers could tell us any information on that, because
we'll have to take that because we come into the topic. But speaking of that, Snipes X, you need to give me a round of applause and tell me thank you, Obi, for being forward thinking.
What are you talking about?
Because you're a dinosaur, and I decided I was not going to let a dinosaur dictate my narrative. And here he is, same time. So come, I am demanding that X tells me congratulations.
What are you talking about?
For always jarring me the bed. So I corrected your problem. You ain't find your bed running real long, and you ain't had to and I had a poke.
Me ain't no bed.
I made a nice, beautiful, extended version for you. lie down and tell me thank you.
We
Your Batson could run for close to an hour and a half now untouched. Say thanks.
I ain't not.
Say thanks. See how nice
All right,
and
I
long
hear
it
it,
is.
I
Say
hear it.
thanks. Say thanks.
All right, thanks.
Good.
All right, thanks. All
Good.
right,
I want more
thanks.
kudos for upgrades.
All right. Thanks.
And as we approach the 11 o'clock news, we have the one, the only, the infamous, the red man who looks like the Rasta man from the Matrix, Stanley.
Very wrong. Yeah, very wrong.
Stanley, here is Stanley Augustus with your 11 o'clock news.
Terrible. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Stanley Augustus, and this is your TTT News Update, making the news at this time. The Ministry of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development noted that the first quarter 2026 labour force survey should be viewed in its proper statistical context. Line Minister Dr. Kennedy Swarat Singh stated that the latest labour force report should be compared with the first quarter of 2025 rather than the fourth quarter. He argued that post-Christmas seasonal hiring often leads to lower employment levels early in the year. Cleanup efforts began along St. John's Road in Tunapuna on Tuesday under the National Programme for the Upkeep of Public Spaces. Member of Parliament for Tunapuna, Roger Alexander, visited the site, meeting with the programme's
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African.
And we are back, folks.
And we are back inside, people, and we inside like a liver, right? Yeah. It is what it is, right?
Yes, people.
We inside like a liver.
Looking to elevate your salad with authentic local flavor? Check out El Pix handcrafts straight out of Tobago, made with 100% natural cholesterol-free goodness and premium tropical vinaigrettes. Bring the real flavor of your table, drizzle our tangy tamarind balsamic splash on some zesty citrus burst, or vibe with our signature tropical fusion on your salads, marinades, grills, and chows. Taste the difference today. Grab your bottle at leading supermarkets nationwide or connect with L's Picks on social media, Facebook, Instagram page. L's Picks, the home of tropical flavors. Eat well, feel well, live well.
All right, people, we're back inside again, and we are doing our thing up until the 12 o'clock hour. We just had the news by the original smooth voice talker, Stanley, the smooth voice guy. Yeah. So it's well, I see that the TTPS was taking in people, and it was oversubscribed as normal, as expected. This is a time when a lot of people are looking for permanent jobs. So a lot of the jobs are being offered. I suspect between the Coast Guard, the Air Guard, the TTDF, and the TTPS, and the prison service, all of them are signaled that they have taken in officers. So I assume that it should be about 1,005 people, somewhere around there. About that, yeah. Well, most of the time our batch does be less than 200. But 2,200, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah, about 1,005 people should be successful in their quest to get into the service. And it is one that I would encourage anybody young, looking to now start out, kind of thing, right? Because I was young at the time, and mother only telling me about go get a pensionable job, and I'm going to organize for it against the prison service and wherever. So I left my job offshore as a contractor, making nice money, to decide to go into the prison service. Because I young, I'd go trying to find myself, wherever the case to be. And I ended up in the prison service, doing my thing. And while doing my thing, I was told about this job. I told you all about, we name, Keith Smith of the Express, the editor at large. Rest in peace, my dear friend. And he would have wrote my first recommendation. I always remember that. I had the envelope, I don't have the letter. I had the envelope, I saved the envelope. But I don't have the letter. But he wrote my first recommendation. And them days in the ghetto is, it much more palatable than it is now. And the people still had their weight in the different areas, kind of thing. And Montgomery guy, who was the head lecturer in John D at the time, he was the food and nutrition head. Basically, he headed that department. And he told us, he say one day, he say, Kole, come, because you see me and one of his sons, but me and his older son were good friends, right? Because he's my cousin basically, but we were good friends. And he saw me and his other son, which was his younger son, playing in the yard kind of thing, doing me thing, boys is at that age, 18, 19, well, no, 17, 18, 17, 18, about that. And he said, "I'm going on our work for all you. I want all to report to Cater Serve, no, to Allied Caterers." That's what the place, when you're going down by the airport, by the old airport, and you're driving down that stretch, you have a big place on your right-hand side before you make the bend. Right, it was called Allied Caterers back then. And they used to provide the utility services for the airline. Well, for airlines basically, for BW back in the day, whatever the case may be. And they also had contracts offshore. So they say, going on. He say report at such and such a time to such and such a person, wherever, and all you come back and tell me what going on. So we interviewed both of us. We went up. Well smart and looking fresh. Cause you're young, you're fresh in the game. Long time your boots shine up, looking nice, a little suit and tie and thing, and going up. And we got through the interview basically. They told me, I told them what I wanted. They told me what the positions they had, and I told them what I wanted. Or told me the positions that are offered. And I told them what I wanted. So they say, going on. They say it had no position like what you wanted and nobody. Because I wanted to go offshore to learn to be a radio telephony operator. I wanted to be a HLO, which is called a helicopter landing officer. And that is one of the certifications that I have, right? So I would guide the chopper on the deck of those platforms and do up manifest, learn how to do up manifest, how to spread out the weight on an aircraft, how to get passengers on and off, where to pass, all these different things, right? So I would have had that training. I would have gone to that training here or somewhere outside. But anyhow, yeah, but nevertheless, I wanted to be a HLO. So I applied for that service. But that time it was a Moko days. So it was
It's so funny when I hear you talk about suits, because I remember at a point in time, I used to chase suits too.
Right.
And I started feeling stupid at that point in time because I had a lot of suits.
Right.
But I wasn't seeing any jobs for the suits I had.
Okay.
So I started feeling like,
what are you doing all these things to them for?
And then it is the same oil and gas sector, you end up in it.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden your suits become full circle.
Yep.
Because I didn't understand the purpose of having a safety course. I wasn't interested in safety at all.
Okay.
And I was prompted by a woman by the name of Miss Jones, a veteran in safety.
Right.
And she pushed me to go get safety suits. And I was trying to tell people, suits is a thing. A lot of us focus on we want the government job, but a lot of people don't understand how certifications can put you in a lot of places and create amazing opportunities.
Well, the reason why I tell people my journey is because I am going through it now with my son in terms of finding yourself kind of thing. Because I believe at 17, 18, you don't know yourself properly. You don't know yourself.
I just tell people, I believe young people does only start to come into the sense of understanding when they reach about 28, 29. I believe all
yes. And I believe that the world of work also too, it have children that come out and know what they want to do and they go behind it and they get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it have thousands of children out here that don't know what they want to do, and they fall into a job.
Yeah.
And the people and the children I'm home today, I want all of them to listen to me very carefully in terms of how I went about what I did and how I got what I got because of my persistence and whatever. Right now, when the person told me that I can't get the job that I want, they told me that the only jobs we have right now as contractors is utility worker, which is making a bed and scrubbing toilet and working in the kitchen kind of thing. I say, boy, I wonder, boy. I say, let me try it out. Because I'm young, I don't know what I want to do yet. And I just
trying to find
myself.
Yeah.
So for all the children like that outside there, don't feel it's too late or it's not it's not something that you would know right away.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to tell the children,
please parents, do not try to force
you. Most important.
Dream.
Because most parents try to get them to live their dream or try to get them down a path that they went down that fail, and they want their children to pick it up and go with it.
Yeah.
And I have learned the hard way. Don't try to force your children into anything. Let it flow naturally.
Yeah.
So when they told me that, I said I'm going to try it. So first day I went offshore, I was like, wow, this experience is like, because you had to get in a chopper, 13 people in a chopper, you had to get in a chopper, and then fly out to the rigs. And when I fly out to the rig and I come off and I watch you wrong, it's only water. And over the gratings on them, they have the gratings on them that they could see through. So you could see the water below you when you're walking. And there was this gangway. I never forget that, boy. There was this gangway going across from one platform to another platform that connected the boat. And I was like, way, I had to cross this gangway to get across to the next side.
Your heart in your hand.
Yeah, that was real kind of intimidating. But I got in there, and every minute I'm peeling our vegetables or doing a bag of onion or a bag of potato and whatever. As soon as I get free time, I done by the office. So I always by the man who doing the job that I want. So I always down there. Every free time I have, I done on that side. So just watching what he doing, talking to the boat, talking to the choppers, handling the paperwork.
In other words, proving my concept, which is the greatest version of getting any opportunity showing up.
Showing up, yes. So I always done on that side of the and then they're looking for me. They know I done by the office. So I did that for like about 6 months.
Yeah.
Every day.
Because you have to show consistency.
I offshore. I down there. But I doing the people work here. But I down there right through. And those days was Amoko. So it had them Amoko men and them high and mighty kind of thing. You can't do anything. You had to be very straight lined with them because some of them real out of timing. So another day I went up in the yes, that's the next thing. Yes. The real serious, a big serious man.
If it's a smaller man,
as a masculine man.
Yeah. You below them kind of thing. Yeah. They want to put the boots out in front and higher, shining the boots. Yes. While they're sleeping, they put the boots in front of the door and you have to pick up the boots and go and slick them and all kind of mad thing I went through when I was younger. So another day I come up in the airport to get work because every week is a hustle to get work because you had to come up, you had your position, but it's a hustle to which platform you're going on. So I come up a weekend, Wednesday we used to change crew. So when I come up now, everybody in the airport saying, we're going on the HLO and Samane, he get an accident and he broke his hip. And they don't have a replacement for him because they're a contractor, so you had to have a replacement for him, and the replacement was out. So the person stand up in front who in charge now saying but who would be the best fit to put this person on our platform, on this particular guy's platform to work wherever. Everybody, about 50 or 60 of them, everybody look wrong at me, because they know I the person who always buy every platform I go on. I buy the office. I work in the kitchen, but I buy the office. So everybody look wrong at me. So I got to play on the platform for the first time, and I was real jittery and real kind of cowardly kind of thing. But I got on and I started doing my thing, and I started doing it, presented. All right, so I got a 3-week stint, right? So I work in wherever the case may be. Then they tell me, "You're going on. The man can't come back to work or he hip and healing properly, so he out of the system." So I get the work permanently on that platform. And from there, I went and I did my first safety course because I like safety in between. Although I like being an HLO and a Maximo clerk and radio telephony operator and whatever, I got the chance to, I saw the safety man and I kind of like the job, whatever. So I started to do safety. So I go on Cipriani Labor College, I do my first certificate, I do my diploma, and wherever the case may be. And then I went and I do my first degree.
So you see, you see, X just tell that story, and if I had to flip X story into this story, that would be this story for me, because keep showing up consistently with what I was doing. Right. You and Stephan taking notice, opening up the opportunity to be a temporary something which was just a hold on for you guys into me having my own show. Right.
So it is designed, this conversation is designed for the youths who are on holidays now and happen to be listening to 91.1, because I want you all, yes, I want you all to be able to understand the journey that people went through, so that you could find your way, same way, And when I got my first degree, I called another company that was doing I got to go in the service because I had to leave offshore as a contractor and go in the service because my mother only pestered me. Go and look for a permanent job. There's a short-term thing you're doing. You go and look for a work and wherever. So I leave that and went offshore. I went in the prison service, and I got into the prison service, and I was the penal.
Question, was the salary more or less?
Was less. Was much less.
So you actually came from a learning lesson and get a government with family like me.
Yeah, definitely.
You know that kind of
man.
You had to go through that, Gobi?
Me?
Learn your lesson so you will get a good government.
Good government job,
unfortunately, no. My sister is one of the leading architects in Trinidad and Tobago, and she pivoted me into AutoCAD. Believe it or not, I am very good at drawing engineering plans and house plans.
All right,
and that is because of my sister. But I never really liked it
Well,
You see.
that's the next portion.
But
the
I
next
took it
portion,
up because
most
of her.
importantly, find a job that you like.
Yeah.
You see, doing a job that you don't like,
Is the worst
that's the
thing ever.
worst thing could ever happen to you.
Yeah.
No, not saying.
You take it out on the people you're serving.
Yes, not saying that don't go and attempt it, But I'm saying that when you're going through life, if you find yourself in a job that you don't like,
Yeah.
or you're going just because, it's problems.
Nothing is.
You don't ever really grow
life
in that
filling with that.
sphere. And you sort of find yourself in something that
Not only that,
keeps
you
you
become
running.
stagnant.
Yes.
You stay there for the rest of your
So
life.
for young people outside there, when the kids come here, I ask them certain questions.
Same thing
I
with
ask
me.
them, well, what they want to be or whatever. And it is good to say a police officer, it's good to say a fire officer, it's
But
good to say an
again, all of
engineer,
them are
it's
a
good to say a
pivoting point
lawyer.
too.
But that does not mean that you're going to end up there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're going on a path. And Trevor says, teach me this a time ago. He said, my father sell herbs, but he wasn't ready to go yet. And he keep pushing it, and it wouldn't go. He said, now is my time. So I get the largest out of herbs. I was able to push it and it was ready to go then, and it went ahead. So I always remember that statement to me about pushing things that don't ready to go yet. And look at it. When you're going through life, it have things that you pushing that not ready to go yet.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just slack off and you rock back for 2-3 days and you go back to it and you know it going.
Hence the reason why
You know it going.
They say nothing happens before it time.
And if you're really honest about life in general, you would see that. You would see the movement of things. Sometimes when you step back and you take yourself out of it and you just go back at it, it is ready to go then.
Yeah.
So everything is that timing too. Everything in life is that timing. And you have to know the difference. And most people don't know the difference.
Yeah.
And just get themselves bouncing up their head trying to fix the... And that sometimes just leave it alone.
My mother had a
just leave it
funny
alone.
saying, X, that she used to say sometime when you're asking God for something right through and you're not getting it, it's not that God don't want to give you it, it's God protecting you from getting it just then.
Precisely. Because things just happen right after sometimes that are detrimental to the whole process. You know what I mean? When you're forcing it to go and you don't want to go. So I got my degree and I went and I talked to my brother. I spent 5 years in the service, but I learned a lot about prisoners, about people, about rehabilitation, about penal reform. I learned a lot about those things at a young age. So I always have them thing in the back of my head. But I got back into I so wanted to get back into safety that I call a brethren who have a next company, which is Kens International. I don't know if you ever hear about it, right? And he just came home. I call him 6 o'clock in the evening, and he just came home from getting the contract with BP with safety officers. He said, boy, your timing could not be
spot on,
boy. I just happened to call him. I didn't call him in years. And I just happened to call him and tell him if he could do anything for me with his company, Kenson, whatever. And the man said, I have the contract in my hand, and to come down tomorrow and down in Sando at Saturday and sign up wherever. And that's how I got in to be a safety man with another company, not Allied Caterers, but Kenson International. And I working my way up, wherever the case may be, and then they come and they say, oh, we're done. Time for BP to take in permanent workers. And I gone in a room with 5 of my supervisors who I already working with for years, for about 3 years. And they say, how we're going on. My interview took about 5 minutes because they already know my capability.
Yeah.
And I got into BP as the only person living in Lavantil ever to work BP. You was? So I just try to tell people about my life, about how I showed up for different things.
And not only that,
and kind of flow.
Look where you went from, eh? The man went from the potato peeler in the kitchen.
Yeah, the potato peeler in the kitchen and scrubbing the the foot of them stove with that green pan.
Yeah.
And all them kind of shit with us.
Telling people you do this, you do that, and you do the other, you know.
I used to work meats a weekend. So you have lamb, you have chicken, you have to devein, you have to debone. You debone all the chicken. I talking about 50 chicken and thing, eh? I'm talking about 5 bags of shrimp. Talking about big 100-pound bag of potato. I had to peel all. The garlic in the bag. Them the kind of things I come from. So I understand what it is with getting things to build it as it goes along. But one thing I do know is that don't force your children into anything that they don't like. Yeah. Because I went into the service, I like it, but the salary wasn't all that. And I making more offshore, wherever. So I went back offshore. I took a year off in prison and went back offshore. And ended up getting the opportunity to get in BP. And that's how I got into BP. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I could have. Then. But my life before that was notorious because 16, 17, I on a block. If my block could have only talk. It would have tell you about lizard, it would tell you about prostitution, it would tell you about drugs, cocaine, weed, selling weed, bagging out weed in
X was a bad guy.
No, it's not that. I just like to tell people these things because I don't want people to feel it's all. No, I learn all my dirty tricks. I learn first.
Yeah, and not only that, people just feel that you don't have a past. And I just tell people I have a past, and I don't run from my past. It have people who, when they see me, I just joke and tell people, you gotta be crazy to touch me in tongue because of the people who know me,
right.
I know my father, I know the history. But I just always tell people, you don't let your past define who you are. There are many places that you could go once you apply yourself.
But you have to keep showing up.
You have to show up.
You have to keep showing up, right? You know what I mean?
You have to show up. But with that being said, we need to show up with some ads, right? So, people, we are going to a quick break and we will be back very shortly.
Roll it out. Hey! Take win. The UTC invested all in. Take win.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its
Snipes and myself trying to understand how you're celebrating before. Pull on a little bit, yeah. Trying to figure out what is the celebration thing before you get results.
Right. And I am trying to tell them it's a racket.
Well,
And they
it's
don't.
actually spinning off from X talking to the young people who
Right.
may be at home right now who can hear the radio
Who's
because
graduated.
I'm happy that you raised that.
Mm.
The fact that some of these children who just came out of school,
Mhm.
they're entering that journey.
Right.
You know, that journey where they have to figure out what to do next.
Mhm.
You can't sit at home for too long because they will say, you ain't got work yet.
well, a certain community of people just push that as your child finish school, you're old enough now, go and look for a job. I do believe in that.
Well,
okay, I'm not getting into that with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to
But no. But we're talking about from the graduation perspective. This is why I believe is a racket. We not going down that rabbit hole I know mentioned.
Well, we were actually saying, punch my microphone. We were actually saying that I think you punched the wrong microphone. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll punch it. Yeah. We were actually saying that for some reason they allow you to graduate.
No, not hearing you.
You're not hearing
Me?
That's it.
correct one
Okay,
just now.
correct. Okay, you were correct, Obi. He have to get acknowledgement. You realize that?
I'm playing. I learning from the best. So when I do the correct thing,
Calm down. You need to calm down a little bit, brother.
I want it.
You need to calm down. This thirst for acknowledgement, it will get you in trouble.
I have to give them both too because I just give them both.
A lot of them would have graduated. Their parents would have spent money on dress, on car, on. But how do you graduate when you haven't yet gotten your results?
It's a racket.
Because all that pump and fanfare can end up in naught.
Yeah.
It's
Can end up in not a pass.
It's a racket, and I'll explain to you why it's a racket. Right?
yeah.
It's a racket because a large portion of the funding for graduation goes back to the school. They know fully well that if they were to release the results first, right, and the results weren't good, why a parent seeing the child coming with no passes will pay a large amount of money for the child to graduate, wear dress, when they could take that same money they're about to spend on graduation and pay to send the child back to school or classes or for them to repeat. So because of that, they keep the graduation before the results take place.
If I had a school, I'd do the same thing. But I want to focus on actually preparing children for the world, right? And I alluded to the fact because I want parents, teachers, guardians to understand that we must prepare them for the truth. And the truth is that you get no benefits when you fail. If you fail to prepare to fail. And most of the times you can see from Inform Tree if a student is on the trajectory. We could see it from early.
From Form 1
We could
sometimes.
so I really do too business about the scam. I know you're more interested in that.
No, I'm not interested in this scam. I'm just telling you it's a racket.
Well, Form 3 is more the
The deciding factor.
deciding factor. Because Form 1, Form 2, you're still coming out of...
You haven't chosen your subjects yet. Yeah. And this is from a parent whose child is going into Form 3.
And that
So
what
I've
you
been
now
tracking.
mentioned there-
I've been taking note. So
But
there's a
Snipes,
track
that
record.
what you mentioned there is something that is very important. And this discussion my adopted brother had to have this discussion with my boys the other day. The picking of your subjects is very important.
but
I don't use any of my subjects. Well, except for English and literature.
But let me tell you why it's important. A lot of the times, the subjects the children pick, two things happen. Children pick subjects that they think are easier, that they sure they might pass, and not where they actually think they want to go in life. And number two, a lot of children also pick subjects that their parents think is good.
Well, let me take it back to we just mentioned and we just actually said to parents, don't push your child into a job where they wouldn't be happy. But the fact is that there's a point in your child's life where you're responsible for sending them in a direction. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're responsible at that form, out of form 2 into form 3. You are responsible. No child can come and tell you what they're going to pick, right? You need to watch that report coming up the road and know what's strong and what weak. Because remember, the lessons fee falling on you as well.
Precisely.
Yeah, but not all parents are that engaged in the children stuff. I can tell you,
And that's what we're saying. You have to be engaged from a particular point. There's a point where you just lost your child, you know.
Yes, very easily.
And you
Very
could track
easily.
that. That is trackable.
Yeah.
That is trackable. And for some reason, whenever we say that we want to hold parents responsible for some of the things that their children do and we want to persecute them, everybody just be up in arms.
Yep.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we need to stop celebrate mediocrity. Stop.
I've been saying it for years, but when I say that, it's get both.
Yeah, but when the trends are all around the world, it's
The
very
trends.
difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah, but the trends
to
that
stop
are around the
trends.
world, the children doing better in some cases. And I'm saying again, I do not believe personally that graduations, I said it, and I'm standing on it because I know people going to say, he make a video about that the other day. I'm standing on it. Why should the graduation take place before the results come out?
Remember, nobody listening to you, you know. You're not a favorite right now. You
understand?
You're not a
I was
favorite.
never a favorite. You understand? But it's the truth. I do not believe in rewarding mediocrity. I do not think that a child...
But at form 3, it is most children when they reach 18, they still don't know what they want to do.
Yeah,
that is true.
Majority, that is in the 90%
That is why
category.
you're supposed to
But
find other
there's
things
a
for them to
small
do after.
percentage of people who knows that you have to have physics to get into doctoral school or whatever.
So they have to go in
So
that
they have
direction.
to go in that direction, and that is where they plan to go, and that is what they mean, and that is what they're saying. But there are 90% of the children that don't have that how to put it, that is why career guidance is very important.
They're all over the place randomly.
Career guidance is very important for you to have an idea as to where you want to be. So you would study these subjects that would get you into certain things. Now, lawyers, doctors, certain highfalutin, uptown jobs require certain things. Maths and English is a must. A 1 and a 2 in maths and English is a must. All the other subjects, they are just fillers basically. But for law, for doctoral sciences, for engineers, maths and English is a must. You can't get no job at that level. Engineers, lawyers, doctors without maths and English. Don't care what school you're going. And you must get a 1 or 2. Can't come with a 3.
Yeah.
Because you don't get into law with a 3. You get in with a 1 or 2, preferably a 1.
Mega baby did.
Right?
You see nothing.
Yeah, well, he did, but he's small thing. Yeah, but generally, when you look at it, at Form 3 is a very ticklish time in a child's life to want to pick subjects per se. And some of them pick 7 subjects, some of them pick, I think you can pick more than 7, right? You can pick more than 7. Some of them just pick 9. But when you get up there, when you go on from Form 3 to Form 5, it's a different flavor altogether, you know. It's not the same as when you was in Form 3, you know.
Different. Even your mindset. Yeah.
When you get into Form 5, it's a different flavor altogether, you know, and you would get your passes and whatever, but most of the time we encouraging all students to get maths and English. All the rest is really, well, I shouldn't say irrelevant, but it is okay. Like if you're a history student, history would play a part in archaeology, in trying to, you know, deal with history elements and so on.
I know people who think that maths is irrelevant.
Nah, but don't study them. Don't study them.
That is
because in every foundational,
they say that because they a lot of the things they learned in maths they have never used in life. So that's why some of them
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much. I was one of the people who used to say that why are you using that for? And in recent time, a little further back than recent, I have learned that I need maths to properly square, to properly measure.
Right.
You understand? I need square root to properly calculate sound.
Right.
For example, if you want to build commercials, you have to calculate to get proper echo and proper delays. If you want to be a sound engineer, you need math.
Right.
You need math in everything. If you want to repair a TV, you need math because you need to calculate voltage, amperage, and wattage. You understand what I'm saying? You use math every day, you know.
Yeah.
You use math to calculate how fast you're going in your vehicle.
Distance and time.
You use
Yeah, but
math
they don't
to
see it.
calculate
They don't look at
how
it
much,
from that
how your gas burning. You use math to calculate what it costs you for the gas truck to bring the gas to your house.
Most people on a daily basis not paying attention.
You use math to understand if T&Tech is overcharging you
Yeah.
on your light bill.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So to say that's a myth. To say that I don't use this and I don't use that, you probably don't realize how you're using it. And
your
this is for young people out there.
And your English, your step above English, your basic English is most important. Because you don't know how to make a sentence with a verb or adjective and whatever. You don't know the basics first. And then if you want to go further, the English A and the English B and the other pieces would help you to be an author or to help you to
this
be...
is what I'm saying. The picking of these subjects, it tends to be all over the place for a lot of students. It doesn't be structured. And
Well, it doesn't be structured, but
they're not sure what they want to be.
They're not sure what they want to be, but they have an idea.
But the compulsory subjects, we already know. The teachers and the system already know that there's a base of subjects that is compulsory for you to begin
Right.
that journey to know where you're heading.
And for the Gen Zs out there, maths and English is paramount.
So
whether they like it or not.
I also want to take this opportunity, I see, well, we have some time, to say to the students who did not get maths and English,
to go back and get maths and English, or at least do it at a
'Cause
private candidate.
I was taught by my accounts teacher. We used to call him the eye, because when he walk in the classroom, he'd say, "Okay, the eye is here.
Right.
Open your books on." So he called himself the eye. You only get free schooling once.
Yes. Yes.
And let this be a reality check to the students behind you as well. If you have a younger brother or sister, I want you to keep telling them, because you're going to face it. To go back,
they'll waste their parents' time for
you
5
will
years
pay.
for free, and then you want the parents.
And if you don't pay, somebody who loves you will pay.
Yeah.
Right.
You get free schooling once in this country.
But most school children don't understand and care about that. I've been saying it to
because
them for
no
years.
one tells them.
Well, we telling all you now. We telling all you now.
Because
So
they
listen.
would waste the 5 years for free of the free education, come out with nothing, and then say, "Mommy, you could, or Daddy, you could pay for me to go back."
Obi, let me tell you something. A lot of students don't realize that they're wasting the 5 years, because as a child, you're designed to seek enjoyment.
Yep.
Dopamine.
My first exam that I did, CXC, I got 7 trees. When I go and I carry it home to my father, he said, "What, you're a forest major?
Yeah, I had
all
to-
these trees? You could have joined one long, three long lines,
And you
right
got
down,
drunk.
and
you
get,
got you drunk.
and went back in Sowersec and got 7 twos. You was? Because I was playing the fool in school at that time, wherever the case may be, but I got 7 twos after. But that just goes to show you that you had to show up.
Yeah.
You have to show up, and make sure that, you set up yourself
now,
correct.
Let me tell you something, right? Because we talk in education here. I liaise with a lot of teachers, and I have access to certain teachers' chats and things that the public don't see. And there's a lot of things that teachers can't see because of the clause in this stuff, right? So they tend to use me to say certain things. One of the biggest problems that most teachers in Trinidad and Tobago have, especially on the secondary school level, is parents that, like you say, reward children for mediocrity. You will have children who are coming home every term with terrible grades, but when the school term reopens, they have the latest school bag on the back, costing $900 because they need a spray ground bag. They have the latest sneakers in the foot, costing $600-700, right? They have the latest cellular phone, because there's a specific school that I frequent with the teachers. they have a box to take cell phones from the children at the starting of the school. Which the first time my sons saw it, they were blown away because my sons don't know about having their phones taken. In their school, they are allowed to go in with the device. But it shows the difference in the children's mindset of that school and the mindset of the children in that school.
Let me show you something.
And the teachers was amazed at the expensive phones these children have, but the grades are the pits, and their parents are rewarding them even though their grades are terrible.
Let me give you an example. There was a graduation ceremony by my son's school back then, right? And everybody had the same. When the procession coming into the chapel, everybody had the same haircut, the same big hair and loose kind of thing, but in order. But you can't make out your child because everybody have the same kind of hairstyle. They're like Chinese, right? And after that, I remember the 4 parents: myself, my wife, my good friend, his wife, my next lady friend who is my wife friend, but I don't know her basically. She a single parent, and another single parent. And we stand up outside the church. And we talking about how we child grades so ridiculous, and how we hoping that they do well for CXC, because CXC was coming up. So we hoping they do well, and we talking to them. And funny enough, the conversations were the same for the 4 boys. Were the same about they're not applying themselves and they're studying on whatever the case may be. And lo and behold, a couple months later, they did CXC. And all of them passed with their 7 subjects each. The last result we got was just the pits by out of the 4 boys, was just the pits. We really thought they're not going to bring anything for CXC. But they applied themselves for some reason. I don't know what interventions we made. But they applied themselves, and all of them came out with the 7 subjects.
I wanna say to parents though, at that age, that Form 2 into Form 3, because I know parents would hide certain things from children. Find a way to share some of your struggles with your child, to get them to understand why they must succeed.
Right.
You know, I see a very, very healthy discussion going on in the chat as well. One person saying that, let's be real, all children don't learn at the same rate, and we understand this.
We understand that.
we totally understand this, but that doesn't mean that your child can't learn. Find the rate at which, and it may cost you a little extra. Some parents don't have the money, and if you definitely you could find a way. I remember a teacher at the school said $15 per session for extra lessons. $15. That might be a stretch for some people teachers, even in this time.
I know a bunch of teachers who go above and beyond, and some of them even do it for free. I can't remember his name right now because I was on slip, but I would like to say thank you to the maths teacher that gives the free maths lessons on TikTok. Both teachers, and I think one is Springer, and there's another guy that does it, Indo guy. He gives free
look, I didn't even know about
TikTok.
that.
They had a free maths portal leading up to CXC that children all across Trinidad and Tobago could have come to that free maths portal online and learn maths. And believe it or not, it wasn't only filled with children, it was filled with parents too.
Yeah. It is unhealthy as an adult to have false hope.
Yeah.
So find out exactly where your child is at academically. Because you dropping that ball could cause problems for some successful people down the road.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is a reality. Somebody had to make the money. Somebody going to think that because they wasn't able to reach that level, they must take it.
Right.
You understand? And we're not trying to create a society. This generation is naturally intelligent.
Yeah.
They're faster. They're faster. So it's just managing time. You see, time management and discipline.
Yes.
That discipline is what is missing. And
extracurricular activities play a huge part in that.
I never play no sport.
I went through.
I never play no sport. You know?
No, but you had a passion of something that you would do.
Yeah, but
I like music.
I went through.
But you found something that you were passionate about and you pivoted to that. It has a lot of youths who don't have
So what about, because it have a lot of parents facing children who don't want to move from behind the screen. They want to play game 24/7.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
well,
how to deal with that?
I have an experience where I got time management training. I never thought it existed.
Yeah.
But I got in BP, I got time management training, and the amount of things I learned in time management.
So had you known about that in your studying years, what would have been?
It would have been.
You might have been the prime minister.
Easier. It might have been 10 times easier. But managing your time is really important. Really, really important. And it is like defensive driving. It is something that you don't really get into until you actually get into it.
I didn't know they were so big.
Who's that?
Twins.
I thought the twins were small, you know.
Nah, too big, man.
The way he speak about these children.
Yeah, he swear there's little children.
In my eyes, they are my babies, and that is all I see.
Okay.
And I do everything in my power to make sure that they have everything that X is saying, time management, knowing how to balance their day. How I raise them. You want all the nice games and everything, there's a reward system. You maintain your grades, you respect to your parents, you do your chores on time.
But before we close, you have a diamond tip?
Listen.
Right, we go in the program today.
Right? But the reality of it is, parenting structure, one of the things I think parents don't understand is this. Be a child friend, but not your child friend. You understand what I'm saying?
Can you choose some different words?
Okay. Your child and you must have a connection where your child can come to you with any problem. And before you try to shut down their thoughts, because we would have gone through that, where sometimes we come to say something and like, you strip it out, you don't know nothing about that, go from here. This generation, maybe that might have worked for us. This generation, them is Bernie Smurf from Smurfs. They are critical thinkers.
Technology in the palm of their
yes.
hand,
And
technology in the palm of their hand.
You have to hear them out. If you don't hear them out, they become rebellious.
The technology.
Yeah. And when you become rebellious, you block out learning. Because it's all they hear in your head is la 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 la.
One thing I want to say though, I don't know if I could say All right, so here, this is just my opinion. I find a lot of youths now, technology-wise, quick, fast.
Yeah, they're very fast.
When it comes to street,
and from very young,
When it comes to street, they're lacking street knowledge. When I say street knowledge, I'll give you an example.
My boys lacking that.
I used to travel at the age of 7 to attend Maloney Government Primary School.
Right.
Although my son that is 7 right now is more intelligent than me at that time, I can't put him to travel.
Same with my boys.
You understand?
Same with my boys.
With
my boys. I agree on that.
Because besides we living in different times, his attention span is very short.
Yeah.
And a lot of youths
you know what causes that short attention span though, right? Social media.
Yeah.
The rapid
clicking.
That's why I always encourage my boys watch long form content.
Not just that, you have to encourage them to read.
The only thing that is proven to train your mind is reading. You understand?
Kids don't read.
Yeah, they don't read.
And the ones who are excelling really good at read, they read manga. But they still read.
But what if you could get your child into the habit of reading, go into and that's why almost every one of us here had a library card. Not so? I'm almost sure you're still listed in the library.
No, the library is where they go to get free Wi-Fi.
Exactly so. So try to encourage your children to read. It's very, very important. I remember, God rest his soul, Father McCann, who was the principal of St. Joseph's College. One time I had to bring my father in the school because Father McCann would bring the newspaper every morning and say, stand up and read aloud.
Right.
And I was upset with Father McCann because I thought he was trying to show me. But Father McCann said, you said you wanted to be a DJ. One day you'll have to public speak. Right. That's what he said to my father. He never said this to me.
Right.
So my father laughed when he come out the meeting. So God rest his soul. Sometimes you're trying to push a child in a direction and the child wouldn't see. So they would get upset. Right. You do what you have to do as a parent. The mind is shapeable.
Right. Mind is shapeable. That's one thing that I have learned from Snipes over the years. Our mind, they always say that a child, they make the child, but you don't make their mind. But Snipes told me a couple years ago, over a decade ago at least, that a mind is shapeable. Or they take that how all they wanted, right? Even the others have minds have a genius of expressing the obvious. Stop walking around talking with the political blinkers on as they just marry into a post. Mind your business.
Straight.
Right, you cannot become a first world nation with a third world mentality. Make a better version of yourself, Trinidad and Tobago. We were here.
Ready to unlock your next getaway? Switch to Be Mobile, the fastest mobile network, and you could win